Ladies and gentlemen, lovers of war, traders of great renown, I, the strategic Indian, bid you welcome to my channel, where our motto is think, practice thinking. If you like the content, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment, which will greatly help with the almighty YouTube algorithm. Our people stood like a stone wall. Our people defended. From Argentoratum to Sophinae to our unguarded underbelly of Octodurum. The enemy, as if operating in a hive mind, has coordinated their moves so as to cause maximum consternation. Today, the strength and resolve of the empire will be tested to no end. If we are to successfully continue the stoic defense of our lands, critical questions have to be asked and answered. Firstly, what were we defending? People do not defend abstractions. They do not defend diffuse ideologies. They defend concrete things. Our cities of Argentoratum, Sophinae and Octodurum are concrete things. Immovable they stand, proud and tall, neither bowing to roving hordes or would-be empires. The people hiding, the children cowering in their homes, the soldiers and garrisons on the ramparts are concrete things too. Their stories need to be told, their lives lived, their dreams fulfilled. These are the concrete things we defend. Second, from whom were we defending it from? Like our citizens, their empire, their dreams and lives, our pagan gods of Jupiter, Minerva and Juno, the enemy was concrete too. Not apparitions and spirits. The enemy is real and concrete. Like a stone hurled which shatters glass, the enemy is concrete. From the desperate Varanians who are on their last legs, uprooted from their once fertile homeland, they come to our lands to make a fresh start. However, our lands, so strained, cannot give them let or pass. Bastarnians and Thuringians, distant kingdoms seeking additional lands for their peoples, shall not be given an inch of our land. Every arrow we fire against these oppressors will secure our future. Every legion which will move forward a single meter will be tilting the balance of power in our favor. Armed with this clear strategic goal, a single-minded instinct to survive, our proud people are standing up against these armed bandits, confident of victory. Lastly, how long shall we defend? Ceaseless defense impedes our path to reconstruction. The empire we inherited in 395 CE is a rotten. We have thus toned down all the white elephant projects due to our irredentist urge to return to paganism. The old gods who have watched over us since and before the times of Remus and Romulus shall grant us victory in the coming struggles. As we speak, one army has been readied in Pannonia to strike forth against the wicked Dacians. Another in Iuvanum, led by brave Stilicho, shall be moving towards the Marcomanns. The empire, Honorius, in Tripolitana, leads the charge towards the Sahara. But those are stories for another time, and we'll have to wait. For today, we defend. The Bastarnians come for us at Sophinae, where we have prepared defenses against them. We have kept a weaker garrison and army at Sophinae compared to Savari, but Sophinae is far more defensible, and that is exactly the trap that we want to throw the Bastarnians in. So they follow exactly what we wanted and calculated for them, and now they have come in So we will block off one end of the city, and that already closes 33% of entrances to the city, which is great. We will start positioning. So given that they are so far away from the city, we are going to do it while they come in lazily. So there's plenty of time to do this. All the projectile units are being placed on the ramparts. The most difficult and dangerous unit of theirs, which is going to cause us a lot of grief, is actually their catapult, because it's positioned in such a way that one of the ramparts where our slingers are moving right now, that is going to be in range of the catapult. So they will continuously try to take hits at the catapult. They might even shoot at the comitatense spears, who are going to block off that edge. So that is a bit of trouble for us. We have hidden our horses. We are also going to put our cohorts very close to the ramparts, because they have got a lot of projectiles which we want to donate to the enemy. We are going to open the entrance slightly with the comitatense spear, with the cohorts positioned in such a way that they can throw projectiles. So I'm moving the projectiles. Our horses unfortunately got sighted, and that made me make a couple of mistakes. So I have to prioritize hiding my horses, because I cannot fight Germanic horses. So pro tip, whenever you see that you are in a situation which you can't get out of, immediately put those units in hiding. So that's why I have to run my scout equities, and in that I made the mistake that I pressed testudo on my cohorts, so they stopped whatever they were doing and got into testudo. So I have to place them, I have to remove them again. So that is a lot of clicks wasted, and destroys concentration. Right, so we are going to hide in this clump of forest, because this was completely unnecessary. I was trying to move my scout equities towards their catapult, so that it would take shots at the scout equities and not at my prepared defenses. But see, this just starts a chain of events, so I can't focus there. You can see that the catapult is reaching into our slingers, so I'm distracted by that horse unit over there, because saving those scout equities is very, very important. There, the scout equities are hidden, so the Germanic horses immediately lose interest. They don't see them anymore, so the AI forgets about them. Right. So I'll wait a little bit, and then I will send out the scout equities. There they are, going towards the catapult, as you can see. And I will slowly start the rampart projectiles to start firing. Whenever you have slingers and javelins of the enemy, always place your units just behind the ramparts, because technically they see the unit through the wall, but they cannot fire at an arch. They can only fire at a parabola parallel to the ground, and therefore they will fire arrows and projectiles straight at your unit, in a straight line as the crow flies. But the wall is going to be in between, so that's how you make them waste their ammunition. Right, so now I'm going to start firing with my projectile units. I waited till the very last moment. Their axes are coming in, very dangerous units. Our archers are firing. I'm putting my cohorts on the wall so that they can start firing on whichever units are nearby. You cannot choose what your cohorts fire on. They have a mind of their own, and they choose whatever they wish to fire on. You can see how clever the AI is. It saw our cohorts were out of testudo, and immediately they went and charged the testudo instead of charging the comitatense spears, and the axes went for the comitatense spears, because they do great against them. So our Limitani is doing a lot of damage. Our Levis Amaturae are doing a lot of damage and dissolving one unit of theirs after another. These are pretty bad units. Only Roman units have got armor, and these don't have any armor. They basically wear a little bit of wool shirt or cotton shirt, whatever. So Germanic levies are not units that I respect quite a lot. But they can be upgraded to Germanic spearmen, and Yeah, those are ferocious units. Tier 3 Germanic spears are pretty dangerous. So I'm keeping my cohorts again in Testudo because their horses are coming back. Our horses are now starting to create chaos for them. So we are going behind their lines and starting to mop up their projectile units. Meanwhile, our ramparts are firing. Our archer is now going to start shooting heavy shot at their general towards his side, so that's very nice. We are shooting from the right hand side, so that's where they don't have the shield, and then it's pretty devastating to them. Right, we are repositioning whichever units are out of ammunition. Our cohorts which have ran out of ammunition are being sent into critical spots, and those which have ammunition are kept in places where they can keep firing at whatever unit is nearby. Pretty punishing fire. This is not a happy place. That is assured. That much is assured. These Thuringians, no, these are Bastarnians. Yeah, whoever they are going to have a pretty bad day. They're gonna have a very bad day. So one more unit of cohorts has finished firing, so they're off the ramparts. The next cohorts gets on the ramparts because I really want to donate these ammunition and projectiles that they have. I'll get them back next turn, so there is no point being stingy with them. Whichever units are coming back are being thrown into battle. We are mopping up their Germanic hurlers towards the back. We form up one cavalry for a charge, for a hammer and anvil, so we don't technically need to do that because our infantry line is holding very nicely, so there is no immediate threats. These guys are not breaking through, not in 1,000 years. Corps are continuing to fire. Our hurlers are giving them a very bad day. Their axes are running, their pikes are running. Our horses are being sent up on mop-up operations. So we see our scout equities are very near to pikes which are running away. So we immediately send them to catch these retreating pikes because I don't want these units coming back. Our general is very near to the pressure point, so he is providing morale boosts. Our projectiles are doing great work at this point. Our horses are going round back. We are slowly eroding their capability. So we see that some of them have entered into our stronghold and they are attacking the Germanic hurlers. So that's why we move the Germanic hurlers away a little bit. Another opportunity for our scout equities to charge their javelin units. Anytime we see such opportunities, we immediately take it. A little bit of an issue is our levis amatore also firing, and then our horses can get friendly fired upon. So yeah, that's a bit. So that's why I immediately moved the levis amatore to a different position because I don't want these friendly fire to be affecting our boys. Our horses are doing fantastic. We are making their archers slowly run. We are being very systematic with our projectile units. On the left flank we have completely held. We are now going to pull our infantry back towards the right flank because that is where their general is. One competency spears is going to be left to protect this entrance point. Our general will also be pulled back. Their axes have decided to go and stand under the tower. Yeah, they're free to do so. Let them do that. Our archers are continuing to fire. They have a very nice position right now because they are on the right hand side. We are moving all our cohorts in a very organized manner behind our competency spears. Yeah, there we got their general. Perfect. So whatever morale these guys now have are going to dissolve. We are going to move our horses back slightly because they are getting shot at by our own javelins and our own towers. So the aim is that we want this army to live, because I want it to slowly hobble back to their capital, wherever that is. Yeah, I know where it is, I don't remember the name right now. And then once it is back there, then I wanted to start recruiting an army instead of it getting a fresh army. As I said, they have a limited number of armies that they can recruit, so this is how we make them remain weak for a longer amount of time. Our main goal is to make sure that none of their axes survive and none of their horses survive, because they get them by virtue of the starting of the game, and they don't have buildings to make these units. So that onager, for example, is a target. We are going to get that out because an enemy with the onager is very dangerous. It can pop up somewhere where we least expect it, and it can attack a walled city and take it down. Right, Postarnians kicked out. That is the first defense, so the Balkan front is secured again. Varanians. This is the greatest threat to our empire right now. This army, look at the odds. Look at the odds. We have a garrison, a general, and one archer. And this is a level 1 garrison. So that's one competency spear, one cohorts, or one Sagittarii, and one horse unit. So this is mission critical. What these guys will do, they love to come to Octodurum. It has also happened in the past for me. And they will, if they win over here, they are going to create a new faction called Illyria and Gaul. They're going to create a Gaul which will immediately declare war on you, and it is right next door to Mediolanum, to the inner heartland of the empire. And yeah, this army is very dangerous for that reason. It also comes with a lot of cavalry superiority, missile superiority, different kinds of missiles. It's got all kinds. So the only way to win over here is to turtle. There is no better way to do this. So our archers are placed on this barricade. Our general is placed near them. We are going to block off the only entrance to the barricade. Competency spears to the front because they take charges much better than the cohorts. They are going to be stationary testudo. The cohorts are going to be intermingled with the competency spears so that they can throw their projectiles. Because the archers that we have on the barricades, they are able to fire in one direction. The other opposite direction, they have difficulty doing so. Okay, so there. We began the battle. We hid our cavalry because we don't want their cavalry coming towards us, and immediately we start firing at whatever unit is coming forward. Whenever your archers are on a barricade, they get a tremendous bonus that they don't have any reload downtime, so they constantly fire. And if there are units which are coming to break down the barricades, then you essentially have a unit which has got, which can't reach your archers. So your archers have zero range difference between. So the maximum probability of your forces hitting the target is there. You also have that they are very near to you, so the shots really count, and that completely devastates these units. Even if they are highly armored units, if you go to heavy shot, you can dissolve them. So I move my cohorts, my scout equities to also fire their limited projectiles. Their general is trying to go towards their to bring down their tower. So our archers are now firing towards the back. I'm not going to use my scout equities to charge over here because my towers are still up. So over here, the only chance we have is to kill their general. There is no other chance. These guys have a tremendously large amount of of infantry, they have a huge amount of projectile units, of cavalry. They have a preponderance of absolutely everything. So we don't have any legitimate answer, especially because we are not prepared for them at Octodurum. If this was Argentoratum, where we have a full garrison, that would be a whole different story. So I'm moving my scout equities forward so that they can just come in a line of the towers and maybe help recapture this tower. There, you can see the yellow arrow is going up, so that means our tower is being held by our troops, and they are not gaining control over that tower and breaking it down. Meanwhile, our infantry is standing like a stone wall, and they are basically just doing the job that Roman infantry is designed to do. They are just holding that area. Their general now understands that it cannot take the tower, so it starts coming towards the barricade. We are going to put a fresh archer unit, because the current archer has got half an arrow left, so there is no point wasting time. The general is really the target. We have to kill the general while he approaches. Either he comes to the barricade and we shoot him to pieces, or if he goes around to meet our infantry, we'll shoot him towards the back. We go to precision shot. Come on, this is mission critical. We have to get their general. That's the only way we can go. Yes, there we got it. We got their general. That's it. This is huge. So the other Germanic hunter immediately goes to whistling shot. See, whenever you have to fire the other direction, they start walking towards the arrow. They don't have enough space. And yeah, firing in the right hand direction is really tremendously difficult. So I'm really struggling over here, as you can see. So one of our boys are going to go to whistling shot, other will go to fire arrows. The tower is also firing fire arrows, so if you run out of a whistling shot, then the other archer can fire. If you run out of whistling shot, the tower is doing fire damage. It's better to go to whistling shot, which is going to lower their morale. So all that remains now is just to whistle shot their morale away. We got it. So we lost quite a lot of people. It doesn't matter, but we did our best, and the Varanians fail. This was the only chance that they have. These people who got thrown out of their homelands, they came, we spotted them with our spy, then they pulled a great surprise. I didn't expect them to come down to Octodurum. We pulled off a last ditch army to defend, and this army did its job. If this army decided to turn around and attack us again at Octodurum, I don't think we would have held it, but the AI can do one attack with one army every turn. Yeah, there. So they came and they just parked. Thuringians are going to come in for a fight. One of our spies was very near to the border, so we saw them on the campaign map, so we had to declare war. This is going to be far easier. Again, a very cavalry heavy, projectile heavy and axe heavy army, so this is not an army to be trifled with. However, we have quite a large garrison. We have got a lot of cohorts, we have got a lot of archers, and we are going to be able to hold this. I don't like this town outline. I really don't like this one, because it has got so many entrances. You cannot stand under any towers, because there are 50 to 60 entrances for this city. So the only way is to go behind the great amphitheater. It used to have a lot of great shows in the past, but all that is a thing of the past now. People have begun to live inside the amphitheater. They are taking stones off of that great building and they are building their hovels inside it. So that is the rot of the Western Roman Empire, but we are going to make it beautiful and all conquering again. We're going to block off both sides of the great amphitheater by placing comitatensi spears and cohorts. We are going to place cohorts and comitatensi spears together so that they can fire their projectiles. If we see that there is a horse unit which is coming in for a charge, we are going to then move our cohorts behind the comitatensi spears, because they don't do as well. So I also moved the reserve cohorts near the barricade so that they can throw their projectiles as the enemy comes to break the barricade, while the archers are placed in such a way that they can fire at an arch. On the left flank, extreme left flank, we are going to do what we did in chapter 4. As we saw the infantry come very close to the towers, we are going to move our scout equities near there. That is going to entice them away from the towers, so the towers will continue to fire and damage the enemy. We are going to move our horses back, which is going to move them further away from their target, which is capturing the tower, so the tower will just continue to stand. And right, so here on the right flank, I put my archers on the barricades because they have far more ammunition, and we have axe units which have graciously decided to come for our barricade. So they break down barricades really fast, so I don't want to waste time by having cohorts on the barricade, because cohorts only have 2 projectiles and then they take forever to fire on them. Meanwhile, the archers which are going to be on the barricade, this is going to be like a machine gunner's nest. This is just going to machine gun these these 2 axe units. So out of, I think they bought 2 axe units to bear, both of these axe units are going to be completely wasted. See, we have already dissolved one of them, and now we have to switch target to the other one. Things are killed so fast. When your archers are on barricades, they are really like ancient times. This is something like, aliens, alien technology. Right, so there you can see they are gone. They are all gone. These axes, if they decided to come for our infantry line, would have been devastating. We are now firing as an arc over the amphitheater into the mass which has formed over here. We are now going to move our horses back into the city. We made one of their infantry go in a wild goose chase following our infantry, so now we are back. So here I have got to decide what to do, because I want to move out from the left flank because there is no pressure on that side, and I want to move them across the amphitheater and help them on the right flank where all the action is. So their archers are firing on our cohorts who are standing on the barricades right now, but these are pretty armored troops, so they won't take that much damage. So our horses are being moved strategically, so I want to shepherd all of their units towards one side so that I can spring a surprise on them and they don't see my horses charging from a mile away. So our cohorts continue to fire from the barricades. They are taking a bit of a damage because that javelin is pretty dangerous. Our general is coming under fire, so we are going to move him to under the great amphitheater, because that way some of the arrows which are coming in an arc from the enemy is going to be blocked by the amphitheater. So little bits of chances like this are what makes the difference between winning and losing in legendary difficulty. Right, we are going to now start the trap. We are going to move from the left flank to help our right flank. You can see our right flank is not doing as well, but imagine if horses actually came, their axes came in over here. That would have been absolutely devastating. So at this point they don't have any mobility in the field because their cavalry is completely dissolved. Some of their infantry, which went and chased our cavalry to no end, are very far away from pressure points. Meanwhile, our left flank is now moving. There we go. Now they don't have enough strategic reserves to stop us from doing a sandwich between the left flank and the right flank. So come on, raise high the black flag, children. Let's go. Let's go. Now their archers realize, their slingers realize they are in a hopeless position. So they are going to try to use their numbers over here as an advantage, and they are going to hope to spray essentially their own troops with their projectile superiority, because they have a lot of different kinds of projectiles. They will have things which can fire at an arc, they will have things which can fire in a parabola parallel to the ground. They have very high damage javelins, they have low damage archers, they also have slingers, which are very devastating to infantry, especially heavy infantry. So we move our cohorts, which are best for fighting, towards the right flank to help with the right flank which has been arrested. Meanwhile, the comitatency spear, which is far more defensive, is going to block off the left flank so that fresh units of whatever it may be, whether it's archers or the slingers, are not able to come in and disrupt us while our cohorts go to work. They have still a lot of different kinds of projectiles, so it will take us a lot of work for our cohorts to be able to first of all reach them while they don't get murdered by this huge amount of different kinds of projectiles that they are now going to hose their own troops with. Our horses are causing maximum damage, and our comitatency spears on the left flank is holding. We have to move our horses constantly, because if these projectiles of theirs start firing, this will completely destroy our horses, and we only have one scout equity, so we don't have a lot of different kinds of mobile assets that we can just bring into play whenever we want. We just have a single mobile asset. So we move our comitatency spears behind a few houses. We can see that the archers are firing against them, so then it's getting really hectic. Our right flank cohorts are not able to progress because they are being held by a lot of trash projectiles. Meanwhile, one full unit of Germanic levy is moving in, which is going to hit them towards the flank of the cohort. So I have to be a bit carefully. I have to be a bit careful over here. I'm also dodging arrows with my cohorts because they are getting shot at constantly. My right flank, extreme right flank cavalry is coming in for a charge, but I decide against it because there is a spear unit which is very nearby, and that is going to come and really give a very bad day to my horses. So I move my horses back and away from range of their projectiles. I continue moving my comitatency spears. I move my cavalry further and further away, because while javelins don't have much range, their slingers, now we have a great opportunity. Their general is alone. This is the opportunity we were waiting for. Our left flank has slowly managed to dissolve all of the units which were supporting the general. The cavalry which came in, the numerous Germanic levy which came in, all of that has now more or less gone. The general is now alone. This is the time where we break them in the left flank, and then we unify both our left and right flank, because our cohorts are in trouble. They are fighting these large amount of slingers who have small daggers attacking them, while a full Germanic levy has come and hit them on their flanks. We also have a very competent unit of Germanic levy which is also moving towards the back, because our comitatency spears which moved in is not going to be able to hold too long. They've been getting shot way too long with different kinds of projectiles. So our general is moving in to help. Their general is running. Our horses are sent in so that they can stop their projectiles from firing and give us just this little bit of time. There, their general is dead, so we are going to switch our archers to whistling shot, because we want this entire mass to be running. We run in our horses. We take the javelins as a first priority because they do the most amount of damage in short range. So we did a mop up. Everybody began to run soon enough. Very few things left. Again, same logic as the Bastarnians. We want this army to survive only just, and we are going to take on captives. And we will allow this army to limp back to wherever they came from, all the way to Thuringia in western Germany. End turn is continuing. I don't think anybody else will be attacking in this turn, and we will be fighting rebellions. And if you have rebellions in your core provinces, so that is Liguria, in Venetia, in in Insulae Occidentalis, then you get these Western Roman separatists which pop out. So yeah, we'll have to fight them. One of these fights I will probably show because this is a very competent army. But until next time, thank you for watching. This has been the Strategic Indian signing out.